I'd like to welcome an amazing human being. He's not only a speaker, he's a TEDx speaker, musician, poet, app developer, and he's currently authoring a book that will be released in fall of 2024. I'd like to introduce my good friend Todd Blyleven.
I can't tell you, I'm really just honored to be here and speak on behalf of first responders and really anybody that's suffered with any type of trauma. And through my story, I hope that you can resonate with that part of it, because it's first responders deal with it every single day. You put on a badge, you put on a uniform, and you make that conscious choice to go into that battlefield or just go to work, and you don't know what's going to come up. I grew up in a sports environment. I was really blessed in a way that I got a chance to be in clubhouses. 1979 World Series, Pittsburgh Pirates, the We Are Family team. I had a chance to swing on some arms of Dave Parker and Willie Stargell, and got a chance to see all the stuff that you don't see outside of the TV. The hardships that these players had on the day-to-day grind. It was truly amazing. And the process that they had every single day, the routines, similar to what first responders do when they go into a locker room, say getting to work and putting on their uniforms, their belts, getting their equipment prepared. It's the same. Sports, first responders, how you prepare yourself mentally to go to work. But the joy that they had and the camaraderie as a team was absolutely amazing. And it's something that we don't find in the corporate setting a lot, right? Maybe we had it when we were growing up in high school if you played sports or you were part of a club. But as we get older as an adult, you kind of lose that. And you don't really get a chance to go into a corporate room setting and give a bro hug to somebody or say, hey, nice job on that meeting. But in sports, right? Hey, you did great. Your ring's in the mail. On October 1st, 2017, I went to Las Vegas with my wife. Route 91 Country Music Festival was absolutely amazing. 26,000 people, all in one place, listening to country music. And I'm a big country guy. And you could feel the love that was there. Every worry that was in your mind, it was gone. Until you start hearing popping sounds. So as you're running in that situation, all you can pray is that your foot is going to hit the ground and you're going to feel it. So I ran over to him, I grabbed her hand and her boot. We got about 5 feet and I laid her down. She was gone. In reality, everything, this was minutes, seconds after that first barrage. So in that given moment, I had a choice. I could get my wife and keep running, or I could go back. So I ran to my wife, told her I loved her, I gave her a kiss, and I sent her on with our group. And I ran back in. Safety. As I go in, 20 people or so are coming out. A blonde nurse, honestly looks similar to Bonnie, grabs me by my right side and says, I'm an ER trauma nurse, what can I do to help? Inspiration number one. Ran to them, they were screaming for help. I came up, grabbed their friend, threw her over my shoulder, and ran out. And I was able to get the 3 of those women into a car and onto the hospital. So 8 hours of going back and forth. At some point, I laid someone down, an EMT off duty, says, where are we going next? I said, who are you? He said, brother, we've been with you. You're carrying them out, we're fixing them up. EMT, off duty, firefighter, off duty from San Francisco, and a Marine. At the end of that 8 hours, I found myself wrestling a man with a knife, taking that away while we're inside the Tropicana on the back entrance trying to protect 150 people because we were told there was a gunman inside the building. The uplifting moment was that as I was on my knees in this completely vulnerable state, that moment of silence hit me. Any of us that have experienced a traumatic event, regardless of what it is, you have a moment of silence. I get countless calls from military combat vets to first responders, law enforcement, fire, EMTs. The moment of silence that happens is the scariest time. Combat vet over in Afghanistan, he gets injured, talking about the silence that eats at him. He was courageous enough to tell his story to a relatable person, experience a relatable trauma, and he was brave, and he told me what he had experienced. We suppress so much in our lives. We're all tough. And that's my biggest message here. At some point, you've checked that tough box. You don't have to be tough anymore. You just have to understand that you're not alone. I don't like to use the term PTSD or PTSI or PTS. I have trauma. Same thing that you guys all have. We've all experienced it. And if you're experiencing trauma, get some help. Talk to somebody. Find somebody with a relatable story. I had some cool conversations with some different people just sharing a relatable story, and it was cool. Here you are, just people just talking about adversity in our lives. We need to have more of that. It's not weak. So I really appreciate you allowing me to tell my story. And again, thank you all for doing everything that you guys do.